home. It's an air purifier, and it's true HEPA. That means it's the best that your money can buy. Not only that, this price is crazy. It's $100 off any other day we offer it. Not only that, you'll never have to spend another dime on a filter. It's forever filter. It's a permanent, true HEPA filter. When I said earlier, the biggest that we offer, it really is. This is gonna work on those really open floor plans, the great rooms of our lives and homes, even up to 550 square feet, doing it probably 5 times an hour. Smaller rooms, it'll clean it even quicker. But this is the part you're gonna love. That filter, you can just vacuum it clean and it's gonna bring it back to its original state so it can continue to trap all the airborne particulates, the particles, the allergens, the pollens that filter through once we open the windows with the spring coming up and around the corner. It's amazing how much of a difference this makes in your world. You will just feel it's fresher because your home will be cleaner because all the things that are floating through the air instead of landing on your furniture and having to dust more often, that's a side benefit because everything that's floating through the air is drawn into this filtration system. It's that powerful. You'll be blown away by some of these demos. But what's trapped there stays there, never releases back into the air that you're breathing. So when you think about that we breathe involuntarily, I think maybe 100,000 times every 24 hours, this is a small price to pay for the benefits you'll feel and notice, as well as your husband or your wife or your partner and your kids and your pets. Everybody benefits when air that is drawn in, all the nasty things that you shouldn't be breathing in are trapped there, and what's released is the cleanest air. It's, I equate it to, we drink filtered water. Some of us spend a lot of money on special waters because we know it's the most important thing to give to our bodies. When you think about how hard our bodies work on our behalf, our poor lungs and our nasal passages, all the soft tissues, if they're trying to filter out all the things that it's virtually impossible for the human body to do, this is something that you can give back to your body and help it do what it does best. And that's just to stay healthy at a time where the air that we're breathing is more important than ever with the allergens in the air and allergy season and cold and flu season in our world. Not that this can cure any of that, but it certainly can make a big difference. Do want to let you know we've got white, we have black, most limited in the black, very limited on the black actually, and we have it in the graphite, in the gray. This is the most popular color choice, so if you love it, don't even hesitate. So I mentioned we've got some demos. I'm gonna come around the front. I wanna show you how quickly we're gonna fill this chamber right up with smoke. Smoke is a very small particulate, the smallest of particulates. You're gonna see how this is filling up with some of the smoke, and then I'm gonna touch a button in a second, and it's going to completely clear this chamber out, and it will give you an indication of how much power is behind this motor to do all that work. By the way, it comes with a 6-year warranty. 6-year warranty. That's one of the things that LivePure does so well is they build such a great product that they stand behind it for an extended period of time. 6 years on the motor, a year on the cord and the grill, but I do wanna encourage you, I don't think this chamber is filling up, guys, so we'll double check on that before I give you the demo, because it's a wow, and I want you to really see the impact. But I do encourage you, today with free shipping, and today with 4 Flex, it's only $49.99 to get one in your home, or get 2 if you wanna put one upstairs, one downstairs, it's completely fine. I'd love to introduce Vonabelle Sherman, though she is our expert and our special guest with LivePure, to talk about how this system works and how it works so much better than others out there. Good morning, Vonabelle.
Good morning, good to see you. Yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to be able to get this because this is the unit that you don't have to think about too much, because maybe you've been hindered from getting one because you don't know what size you want. Well, look at this. The HEPA is going to pick up all the mold and the odors, and then the cocoa carbon, which is of the good, better, best, is the best. It is your pre-filter, and then underneath is your true HEPA. Now take a look at the size of this, because a lot of companies try to fudge on this. They'll give you a filter that is maybe only this big. That's not enough surface to capture all the allergens you want. But look at the size of this true HEPA filter. It is the size of the unit, and so it can capture 99.97% of down to 0.3 microns of all the particles in the air. And next month we join right with the outdoor allergens to match the indoor allergens. Outdoors would be tree pollen and grass and weeds. If you're allergic to those, it's nice to have a safe haven. You can come in your home and make sure that your air is clean. Now inside, the EPA says that the inside is actually 5 times more toxic than outside because you have dust and dander and mold spores. And if you have pets, you have that dander floating around. And you know that because if you've ever been next to a pillow and hit the pillow, you know what flies out that you can see. So microns, let me give you an idea of what like 0.3 microns when I say down to it. So one single strand of hair is 80 to 100 microns. Then going down from that, pollen is 0.30, household dust, pet dander, and then the smoke is the 0.3. That's tiny, it's hard to remove, but when we put it in the smoke chamber, what we always try to prove to you is that we move the air. To clean the air, you have to move it first. So that's important. And that's something LivePure has totally mastered. And then there's things you want to look for when you're getting it. You want to look for a good pre-filter. You want to look for true HEPA under that pre-filter. And then something else is this rubberized gasket. Now, rubberized gasket enables all air to be forced through the 2 layers of filtration. They can't slip by and then come out dirty. Because if you've had an air purifier in the past and you were like, well, I didn't feel any different, go look and see what kind of filter it is. As a matter of fact, if you have an air purifier in the house right now, see what kind of filter it has. See if it's a paper or cardboard, because that allows dirty air to come out dirty. And then if you have to pay to get a new filter, don't do that. This is a forever filter. This is meant for the lifetime of the unit. And what do you do to keep it at its maximum performance? You use your upholstery brush. From your vacuum, you vacuum your pre-filter, you vacuum your true HEPA, and in doing that, it brings it back to its original performance, and then they say it will last 12 years. Now, not because it's going to go bad, but in 12 years, there'll be new technology, won't there? And you'll probably want that. So do this maybe once a month, once every 2 months, but if you forget, take a look at this. HEPA filter and pre-filter. Those lights are not, oh, I need a new filter and it's going to cost me $50, $60, $70. No, this is just a gentle reminder. Hey, have you vacuumed me? So that I stay working for you well. So it's a great deal just because there's no money pit, Callie. No future cost, Callie.
Right, exactly. Now I'm going to show you how quickly we filled up the chamber, and it's going to, you see it already? I just turned it on. That is really powerful. There's a lot of air purifiers out there, and I mean, there's a lot of you who have purchased other brands and other models that are like, oh, do you see anything happening? And that's the truth. This price for that kind of power and this size of a unit that can clean a room as big as it does, this is an unheard of opportunity at $199. It really is. So again, don't even hesitate. You will notice a difference. You don't need a month. We give you a month, but you'll need maybe an hour. I mean, you notice it right away. Whether it's just from the inconvenience of feeling like your house smells musty or moldy or mildewy or, you know, just wet, or if it's burned dinner from the night before, garlic bread that you forgot under the broiler, or, you know, all of the things, smoke, if you got a cigar smoker, or if it's just a combination of all of it. Most of us have a combination of all of the things that this should be doing the job for us, instead of our body having to work that hard. I mean, even the things that we spray in the air, our hairspray, our perfume, you know, the cleaners, household cleaners, all of those things, they float through the air. Our pets come in and they shake themselves off, and that floats through the air. And you know, if you're not using something like this to clean the air, you're breathing it, your husband, your wife, your kids, your pets, everybody's breathing all that stuff in, and it's not good for us. We shouldn't be breathing it in. That's why air purifiers were designed. And this is why today, it's the first time we've ever done the Big Mac Daddy, the Bali series as a Today Special. A significant savings for everybody, $100 off our price. It's $150 off the retail price on the same unit. We just happen to have it here today at this kind of an incredible value at a time you need it the most. We're just entering into, you know, the cold and flu season and the allergy season and all the things that, you know, make you just itchy-eyed and wheeze and sneeze. I mean, I wish I could cure all of those things for us, but it just helps not to feel as bad. And just the side benefit of not having to dust as often, having a feeling of freshness in your home instead of a feeling of like, there's just something in the air. It just doesn't smell clean and fresh. But it is truly something that you'll notice a difference right away. So make your color choice. That's all you do. You want white? Do you want black? Do you want the graphite? Black is most limited, and while you're watching, that is that pre-carbon filter. That's the cocoa filter. That's what does the really hard work. Actually, I'll take that back. The true HEPA behind that is what does all the really nasty work, because that's what's holding the smallest things you couldn't begin to see with the naked eye. So again, if you're just tuning in, this is permanent filter. No extra filters, not 6 months down the road, not a year down the road. You decide when you want to clean that out. If you can't remember, that little guide will tell you right on the top of that panel. It's a soft touch. It'll say HEPA filter. If that turns on, it's time to just take out the vacuum and just vacuum it off. Same thing with the pre-filter. But it's horrifying, isn't it, Vonabelle? What you end up seeing, even after 1 month. It's horrifying to think, I've been living in this kind of filth. But it feels good to know it's doing the job it should do.
Yeah, and it's good to know that what you see on this filter here, that's a dirty filter, is not in your nose and in your lungs. This particular one, I gave this unit to my son, Jamie, and he ran it in his apartment complex, which apparently is very dusty. And I have found that apartment complexes are more dusty. And look at what he collected. And when you think about what's on here compared to a clean one, you're like, I'm so glad that this is in the filter and not in my nose and not in my lungs. That's why I say getting an air purifier is an act of love. Because if you can keep all of what's collected here from your children, your family, your loved ones' nostrils and lungs, you're saving them from breathing all of these particles, many of which are invisible threats. Things that set off allergies, things that make your eyes red and itchy, your throat red and itchy, things that wake you up in the middle of the night and make you need to get a drink of water. So it is great because this is what it collects. You will see it. So what you see on here is what will prevent from being your lungs to be the filter for that. And this is a great unit because this is LivePure. They work hard at bringing you a great unit. So they also give you a 6-year warranty. They also give you USA-based customer service. So if you have a problem or a question, you're calling the United States and speaking to an American, and a lot of people appreciate that. And then it's also Energy Star rated, which means it sips electricity. Doesn't really cost you pennies to run it, but it's invaluable what it does for you while you're cleaning the air in your home, making it safe to breathe. Now, this is a nice big filter as well, so you have the biggest surface to capture all the allergens and irritants. Now, if you had a flood, for instance, this year and you get mold, it's mold spores that float in the air and then irritate you. So that's really important to capture. If you have pets, you want to capture all that dander. But let's talk about room size for a minute. This is why I really like this unit. You do not have to think, well, I don't know if this one's for my size. It's for your size, because this particular unit, our Big Mac Daddy, is for the smallest room and the biggest. Now, here's some examples, and I'm going to add to some. So in the green box, you see it says 17.75. That's the air exchanges it does in an hour in that size, 10 by 15. Let's go to the bathroom, the other green one, 10 by 10 by 8. 26 times and change an hour scrubbing the air clean. Now, if you have a problem room in your house, put the unit in, put it on turbo, and close the door, because in an hour, it won't even be the same air. But let me take you on a little visual. So you want to put it in the baby's room, and that's 10 by 12. No problem. We're going to clean that air 26 times an hour. Now, there is an organization that oversees portable air purifiers, and they come out with like an industry standard. Okay, what should we expect in the middle ground of cleaning a room? So for the middle ground, they say we want it to clean 5 times every hour, 12 times every 12 minutes, and that's where we get the 550 measurement. So in that 550, we're going to clean that 5 times an hour every 12 minutes. It's amazing. But let's go to bigger, because if you put it in a bigger room, it still scrubs the air clean, it still removes allergens, but it does it a few less times. Now, this unit can go right up to 2,000 square feet. At 2,000 square feet, we're going to scrub that air clean 33 times a day. We don't wash our dishes 33 times a day. We don't do laundry 33 times a day. Well, maybe some families, but you're cleaning all of those things, right? But we're going to scrub your air clean even in your big spaces. Now, why is that important? Many of us have open floor plan now, where, you know, the kitchen kind of goes into the living room, kind of goes into maybe a bonus room. So you can get one unit that will do your biggest spaces, but then if you want to move it in the baby's room at night, that's perfectly fine. That's why this is a great unit to get home at an incredible price, and you never spend another penny. I'm a frugal mom. That's my favorite part. Because maybe what hindered you from getting one is like, you were like, well, I want one, but I don't want to have to buy a $60, $70 filter
every 6 months.
3, 4, 6 months,
Exactly.
right?
Absolutely. I mean, that is a huge, huge feature to what we're offering today at this price. And again, you own this unit. You can take this from a one room, put it in the next room. You can move it from your home to another home, or to a cabin, or to an RV, or a camper, or a boat. You guys, this is a must. It really is something that you need right now. More than ever, we're all so conscious of what we're breathing, as we should be. I mean, without the whole pandemic, it was an important topic. But now, my gosh, it's paramount. You know, and statistics show us, I mean, on a normal day, we spend 90% of our time inside of our homes. Now we spend even more. And with that being said, it's a relief to know this is doing all the hard work. This is doing all the hard scrubbing. This is doing the deep clean, and the deep clean that your body isn't having to work that much more and that much more overtime to do the same kind of filtering. You know, Vanabella, you said earlier, we talked about the difference between, you know, a nice clean glass of filtered water versus if you got a speck of dust in a glass, whether it's from your house or a restaurant, if you ever go back. I mean, you're never gonna drink that. Why would you let your body breathe in things that, you know, I guess we do it, Vanabella, because you can't see some of the things that we're breathing in, but this can. Yeah, it does. It sees everything. Here's what you were talking about. Good segue. This is a nice, clean glass of water. I'd have no problem drinking that. You wouldn't either. But let's say in that restaurant, or your mom said, hey, drink this water with some particles of dirt and dander and dust and pollen. Would you take a look at that now? Would you drink that? Why don't we have the same standard for our air as we do this water? You wouldn't drink this now. Why are we breathing air with all these same kind of particles in it? So take this out, have a different train of thought about the air you breathe, because you would not drink this with all those particles or allergens in it. So don't breathe it either. Now, I moved positions, as you can tell. Welcome to my living room, because I wanted to show you how this works even in my home. I have a 1,500 square foot home, but I have a major open plan. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you over to my kitchen. I'm in my living room now. This is my kitchen. If you have that open floor plan as well, and you burn popcorn, you have the salmon cooking, you burn toast, the smells that are in the kitchen transfer right over to your living room, and then your whole open plan smells. Here's the nice thing. All you need is one unit to put in the wide open space, because this unit can do small rooms or up to 2,000 square feet, Callie. It's the biggest one we offer.
That's what makes this amazing.
And there's a reason it's a $350 unit in the retail world. It's not here. Especially not today. It's $150 off. When you combine that with free shipping, another $20, this is about half price compared to what you'd spend going anywhere but here today. Now, black, I don't want you to hesitate. If that's your choice, we are definitely most limited in the black. This will be the first to sell out today. Graphite is the most popular. So again, with over 6,000 now out the door, you can understand this is one of the most, and then we have white, by the way. But it's the right time, it's the right product. And you know, it's the right thing for us as a company to do, to offer something this important at this point in our world at a great value. This is a chance for you, the peace of mind of knowing, whether it's a brand new baby, or it's, you know, your toddlers, or your teenagers, or your parents, or your grandparents, or it's you and your husband and your wife or your partner. Everybody benefits around the clock. Everybody in the home. So you start prorating what you're spending on something that makes the house cleaner, that makes everybody feel better, that makes everything smell better and fresher. It's a small price to pay, and that's why if you can swing getting to, today is definitely the day to do it. I mean, tomorrow, it'd be like, okay, we're looking at $600. Today, if you got two, it'd be $400. just a really, really timely item and very, very popular today. We are well beyond the plan that we are anticipated at this point. It's still pretty early. It's not even noon on this coast, but it is really early on the west. So if you are just tuning in, welcome. This is a perfect example of the kind of great quality products that we here at HSN offer. And this is a chance to do something good for yourself every day. 24 hours around the clock. We breathe involuntarily. Isn't that a gift? Our bodies are amazing. This is a gift to give to our bodies, so it doesn't have to work any harder than it already does. A couple of reviews I wanted to share with you because you'll note it is a customer pick. When it was $2.99, $100 more than it is today. A couple of them, I love this one. We opened it up after 1 week of use and wow, is all my husband and I could say. The amount of debris and dog hair is incredible. The other one I love is our home smells fresh, our basement smells fresh. Goodbye musty basement smells and goodbye allergens. There's so many for you to read. There are so many incredible experiences that people share because they know this was the right choice to make for themselves and for their families. You're looking here how easy it is to just take that front grill off. That's that first filter. That's what picks up all the dog hair and all the bigger particles, but it's the true HEPA behind it that you never have to ever buy again. It's permanent. That should look nice and snowy white. When this starts looking gray and gross, you just take a vacuum to it and you just vacuum this. You don't have to replace it. So how great is that? The savings is here, the performance is here, the quality is here with a 6-year warranty, and clearly today, the value, it will never be better than what it is today. So I'm gonna share with you once again, I think we're gonna try fill up this smoke chamber one more time. It's not doing as good of a job because you know what? The power of this unit keeps pulling it through and it cleans it out even before I can get to it. But hopefully you can still see how that, there you see the movement. It's pretty hard to see the white against the white unit. I'll try to refill this, but I do really encourage you guys, take my word on it and take Vonabelle's and take the comments of others who have spent way more on the same unit and are so happy about it. They take time to share their experience with you. So Vonabelle, I know we only got a few minutes left in this airing. We are so busy today and this is just so well received. It may very well be an early day for you.
Yeah, that would be great because everybody will have clean, fresh air, which blesses me. I'm going to tell you one story here before I tell you about that big ball you have on studio with you. So maybe when you get an offending scent, the dog smells musty, you burnt the toast, you burn a candle, you get a spray. These are called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. It's the exact thing you're not supposed to put in the air. An air purifier pulls these things out of the air. And I bet you could be spending $100 on these a year. Never mind that. Get an air purifier that pulls the VOCs and the allergens and the offending scents out of the air, and then you don't have to buy these anymore, which are actually terrible for you. Now, in the studio, Callie has a big exercise ball, and I'd like to give you a visual. So this is a nice visual. We talked about microns. Okay, so that big ball represents single strand of hair, which is that 80 to 100 microns. That's just one strand of hair. So as I think Alice used to say, that's some big Texas hair. So one strand, okay, now, but don't forget, that's 80 to 100 microns. We do down to 0.3 microns. Look at that bead in Callie's hair, the hand. That is representative of 0.3. Think of how tiny that is if that ball represents one single strand of hair. So we're doing invisible threats, the things that are bothering you, because many times you go, well, why are my eyes itching? Why don't I feel good? Why am I waking up? Because you're like, I don't see anything in the air. Because the ones that really set off allergies are invisible, but they're there and they need to be pulled out of your air. And look, this is what it looks like in your act of love to your family. This is full of allergens and irritants and pet hair. Your cocoa carbon, which is your pre-filter of the good, better, best. It is the best. And then under it is your true HEPA. Don't settle for anything less. Don't get, HEPA-ish. We're giving you everything you could possibly need for the very best filter. And then you have to have a good motor. We give you a 6-year warranty on the motor. Nobody does that. You get 12 months maybe. But LivePure gives you the 6-year warranty. This is an Energy Star rated air purifier, which means it's pennies to run it. USA-based customer service, which means if you have a problem or a question, you will call the United States of America and speak to an American, and people appreciate that. You also have a sealed gasket. Why is that important? Because the large dust, the hair, and the pollen needs to go through those 2 layers. Allergens, smoke, dander, dust, dust mites, mold spores, and odors go into the true HEPA. By the air purifier breathing those, it saves you from breathing those. Your nose and your lungs aren't the filter. The HEPA filter is the filter for you. And this is a forever filter or a permanent filter. So there's no money pit. In 3 or 4 or 5 months, you're not going to be looking for a tape measure to figure out what size and then go, well, where do I even get a new one? And then when you find out what it is and you find out it's $40, $50, $60, you're like, oh, that's not good. So this, you will never have to buy a replacement filter because you simply vacuum it clean with your upholstery tool. So when you're vacuuming, just take this, vacuum this clean, and it returns to its original performance. And it lasts the life of the unit. They say that's about 12 years, not because it goes bad or is bad, but because in 12 years, there'll be new technology and you'll probably want something else. But this is the one you want home because it does your smallest room or your biggest open plan, like I showed you in my own home. And it's from LivePure.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
stand behind their product. And Alice, are they not just beautiful, great colors? And if you forget to vacuum, Callie, I'm sorry, all you have to do is look here. If this light goes on, HEPA or pre-filter, it's the reminder to vacuum, not go buy a new filter.
You know, and
so it's amazing value.
It saves you a ton of money, not to mention just the headache of like trying to find the filter to which model unit do I have, drives you nuts. The truth is there's a lot of smaller units out there, which you can like, really, it adds up quickly. But these are the units. I love the big unit because, first of all, it looks great. And it really does, whether it's a large floor plan, it'll clean it. You saw that floor plan, the layout. I mean, over 6 times an hour. If it's a huge 550 square foot space, you put it in a smaller room, it'll do it that many more times. So that's why I'm such a fan of the bigger units. Now, the bigger units obviously are more expensive. Like I said, and you can see for yourself on the graphic, this is a $350 system from LivePure if you go straight to their website. But here at HSN, today it's $199. Tomorrow, it'll be $100 more than it is today. You'll feel so good about making this purchase. You will notice a difference so quickly. You will just smell a freshness. You'll sleep better knowing that even while you're sleeping and at rest, this is scrubbing the air. So your body is just gonna be able to recuperate and rest and renew the way it should. And I do really recommend, read some reviews. And again, those are reviews for folks who have spent $100 more to get this same unit. Yours is here, and we would love to send it off to you. You can get more than one. It's not one per customer at such a significant savings. It is something, though, you all should have. And if you've got a big house, get 2. Put one up, put one down, and then just vacuum out those filters. Never worry about having to replace them because it's a permanent, true HEPA. And that gasket that you mentioned, Vonabelle, that's a key to having that tight seal so nothing sneaks by that HEPA filter. Everything that's drawn in is gonna stay where it is, and that's right on the filters and where they belong. Bye-bye to allergens, and the truth is mold spores, those are dangerous. We shouldn't be breathing those types of things in. It's a danger to our health. So I know, Vonabelle, this is, at this point in the day, you can see we're at about almost 6,500 out the door. We are very busy on this one. You're doing such a great job helping us understand the differences between the good, the better, the best categories. Any final words, Vonabelle?
Yeah, I would just encourage you to get this because, you know, I do different air purifiers, and this is the one that's good in your small room or your big room. So why not have that versatility? The only difference is how many hours, how many times per hour it cleans the air, but it still cleans the air lots of times an hour, scrubbing it air clean, removing the allergens, which is so important. You're protected from those invisible threats.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Callie.
you, Vonabelle. Wonderful job. Really nice to see you today. Your home is beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, guys, don't miss this one. Don't wait. If you want black,